I believe I am live. Got stuff all over the screen right now. Yep, I'm live. Wanted to do a quick breakdown of post-fight breakdown of Richard Commey versus Ray Beltran. I felt this was the best fight of the weekend. Trying to get the lighting right here, but yeah, man, Commey showed what Commey does. Right, he's a banger. He likes to get in there. Very accurate with his power punches. We'll get to some of his deficiencies in a minute, and I believe those deficiencies will only show up against a guy like Lomachenko who will be able to pick him apart, and possibly Teofimo Lopez. More on that in a minute, because that has me very excited. But as far as the fight went, Commey showed his power against a veteran, savvy fighter. 4 knockdowns in the fight, stopped him in the 8th round. I think that Ray Beltran had an issue coming into this fight, being the veteran, savvy fighter who isn't as gifted at this point as a Commey, doesn't have the attributes that Commey has. He wanted to sort of drown. His really only opportunity to win this fight was to drown Commey, to wear him down, to still be there in the later rounds. Hopefully, Commey throwing all those power punches would be worn out, and then Ray Beltran would be able to stop him late in the fight, being down on the cards. However, when you're weight drained, he has issues at 135, couldn't even make the weight, and you're up there in age, 38 years old. He just couldn't execute that game plan. And on top of that, Commey's a guy who just didn't wear down. Looked in great shape, as guys who come over here from Africa. He's from Ghana. They just don't wear down, man. They have great, just known for guys who don't cut and don't wear down in the ring. So Commey has that going for him as well, and was just very accurate in there. However, he does have a deficiency in that when he throws his right hand, he loads up on it and leans in with the punch. So he's open for counters. Beltran just didn't have the, what do we call it? The counter punching ability, so to speak. Doesn't have the reflexes he once had in order to counter him. When Beltran was at his best in this fight, it was when he went offensive and was able to throw some combinations. Good performance by Commey, and it got some buzz around him coming off of that fight in February where he hurt his hand. Now the question is, and first of all, as far as Beltran goes, no shame in losing this fight, no shame in missing weight, because he tried to make it. He's talking about going back up to 140. I think he just needs to retire, because at 140, I don't think he fits there. I think he's going to have issues being stopped at 140, and just at 38 years old, 20 years into his career, I think he needs to wrap it up. It's taken a lot of punishment in his career. As far as Commey goes, the sky's the limit at this point, because he has a possible big bout with Lomachenko looming once Lomachenko takes care of business in August. And that's a full unification fight, possibly. That was put off and could possibly happen here. However, it seemed like they were angling for Commey versus Teofimo Lopez in the post-fight and pre-fight as well. They interviewed Lopez, and I think part of the reason is Lopez, if you heard his interview before the fight, was talking about how much he struggles to make 135. So his days at 135 are numbered. So maybe they're trying to get him in there with Commey before he moves up to 135, a big fight at 135 before he goes to 140. I'm not sure, but it was evident to me that they were angling for this Commey versus Lopez fight, which was a bit surprising for me, because I thought they would want to go with Lomachenko being fully unified. That's a possibility. But Commey versus Lopez that's an exciting fight. On paper, that just provides everything that you want to see in a fight. 2 guys who are looking to knock you out. 2 guys who are accurate power punchers. And what I want to see from Lopez is what happens when he gets in the middle rounds. Is he going to wear down? Is a guy who's at 135, if you listen to him in those pre-fight interviews before the Commey fight, struggling to make 135, struggling to make it in the past 2 fights. Also, he's with 3 nutritionists now, just trying to get down to 135. And he fully admitted, look, man, I'm struggling to make 35. It's evident that he's going to be at 140 soon. soon. So struggling to make 35. They asked him about Lomachenko. He's like, if Lomachenko wants to do it soon, we could possibly do it. But he was sort of hesitant about that, which was a bit surprising to me in that, he just doesn't know how much longer he'll be at 35, be able to make 135 if the Lomachenko bout is possible at that weight. If it happened, it'd probably be at 140 in the next year or two. It would have to be at 140 because I just don't see Lopez making that weight much longer. So I seem to think that once Lopez takes care of Nakatani in a couple weeks, which he will, I think that's the fight they're going to try to make. I hope so anyway, because I think Lomachenko, I'm pretty sure I know how those fights go at this point in time. I'm pretty sure Commey and Lopez would have their moments early in those fights, and then Lomachenko would start to time them and pick them apart in the middle rounds. However, I don't know how Commey versus Lopez would go. I tend to think that Lopez would beat him, possibly even stop him. I would slightly favor Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is a beast, man. He's an absolute beast. So I think Lopez would win that fight. However, it would be exciting. It would be an exciting fight, and it would be a great win for Lopez if he could pull it off. So I hope that we see Commey versus Lopez. Like I said, it would be a can't miss fight, and I'm hoping that's the fight that we get. But hit me up and let me know what y'all thought about this fight. Did y'all see any deficiencies in Commey besides the right hand and leaning in with those power punches? A lot to like with that guy, though. A lot to like with him. A lot to like with Teofimo Lopez as well. Some things heating up at 135. However, I don't know how much longer some of these guys will be at 135. Lopez in particular. And 145, man, a year or two from now, 140, not 145, 140 is going to heat up. Heat up. I think Lomachenko is eventually going to end up there. Lopez will be at 140, possibly even end up at 147. Commey might end up there as well. And then Mikey Garcia is going to drop down to 140. Bridges Prograis at 140. So 140 is going to heat up eventually. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm out. Peace.